Hell, they gave up 3 first rounders to move up 4 spots. So what's it going to take them to move up to be able to get Trey Lance, Skip?
From 19?
Skip, you got to give up all your picks this year, all your picks next year, and half your picks the year after that. You really, when they say somebody's going all in, if you were to do this, you are absolutely all in. And if I'm Ron Rivera, I would say I'm gonna need a contract extension. If you going all giving up all of this, Skip, because you're doomed. This kid he's got to be legit. He's got to be the real deal because he's handicapped you for the foreseeable future. He's got to be it because how do you build around him? You can't build around him through the draft. You got to go in free agency.
I mean, your defense is already pretty good.
But he got to be the real deal, Skip, because like you said, they gave up to move from 6 to 2. So that's 4 spots. What's it going to take you, Skip, to go 19 spots? You're going to have to come up inside it because remember, what did Andy Reid give up to come up 17 spots?
To 10, right?
10.
Yep.
You're going to have to come way inside the top 10. You might have to come to 4 or 5.
The problem is I don't know where you'd have to get to.
Right.
If they have the right reconnaissance and they think we could go to Cincinnati at 5 to get him, maybe you'd have a shot.
I'll go out where you got to go. No, I believe you got to go to 4. I believe you got to go to 4.
Can you guarantee me that the Jets or 49ers won't take Trey Lance? Can you guarantee it right now? Because I sure can't.
Well, you got to roll the dice. You got to roll the dice.
Yeah, but if you give the next 2 years once, then you rolled it where?
Hey.
That's what I told you about the 49ers. They went to 3, and they're prisoners of what the Jets do at 2.
Well, I think they got reconnaissance saying they're going to take Zach Wilson.
Well, they better be right.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. You got what's the next quarterback draft class like? What's 2022 and 2023 draft class like? Because you got a 38-year-old bridge, and that's what many see Ryan Fitzpatrick as a bridge. Now, you got Heineke, but he played 1 game. He started 1 game.
And he was good in that one game. He was.
But are you willing to mortgage
the Buccaneers?
Yep. Are you willing to mortgage that, your entire future with Tyler Heineke? I don't know, Skip, but, man, I mean, you got the first rounder, extra first rounder, and a third because of Trent Williams. So you got some. So I tell you what we'll do. We'll give you both of our picks this year. We'll give you the one next year, and we'll give you a second next year. Let us come up.
Okay.
You good with that, Skip? That's 3 first rounders, a 2.
Okay. Now we're back to the question of the hour, the wild card question.
You got to go.
But Mel Kiper calls Trey Lance the most fascinating prospect he's ever attempted to evaluate.
Right.
He's been doing it for,
right.
I don't know, 40 years.
Because most of the guys, Skip, you have multiple years to evaluate him. I'm sure he felt the same way about Cam because Cam really didn't play a whole lot at Florida. He went to Blinn.
But he did play at Auburn in the SEC.
Right.
And we got to see him at Tuscaloosa. We got to see it.
You saw him in the SEC championship game.
We saw it against Oregon. We saw it in the national championship. We saw it.
Yes.
So if he'd only been at Blinn and won back-to-back national championships, you'd be saying, well,
and you're trying to come out and try to go to the NFL. Do you like, well, hold on.
I don't know.
Right.
Okay, so this is FCS. This is North Dakota State. You do have the history of Carson Wentz, did go second overall in the draft. He did flame out in Philly. You think he'll find second life in Indianapolis, obviously. Okay, Trey Lance. I didn't watch a single game he played, but I've been watching a bunch of YouTube. I watched his entire pro day, which you can just call up on YouTube. And I watched the highlight video of his 2019. He played 1 game last year because of COVID. But the whole team only played 1 game against Central Arkansas. And he didn't throw it very well in that game. Actually had an interception, threw for 149. But he ran 15 times for 143 yards against Central Arkansas.
Right.
And I look at 2019. He's 28 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. They won all 16 games, including the national championship, and he ran for 1,100 yards in 16 games. In his college career, he averaged almost 7 yards a carry, and they take off yards for sacks in college, which they don't do in pro football.
Right.
So it's extraordinary what he was doing with his legs, as well as he's got a big arm. I'm not saying he's deadly accurate because I didn't see that in his pro day. He's got a big arm. He's got a real sweet release. It looks good. It looks pure to me. So he's growing on me. And when I watched the highlight video, again, it's FCS. He's just running kids over.
Right.
He just he's going Cam Newton on people at 6'3" and 7'8". So let's call him 6'4". 224 is what he measured at his, or weighed at his pro day. Big kid, big arm, winners intangibles at this level.
Right.
So did Cam.
Right.
Well, he's growing on me. Like I'm starting to say, well, wait a second. Am I missing something here? Because I did not TV him. You know, I didn't just sit like I do with everybody else and eye test him live on television.
Right.
I don't watch coaches tape. I just eye test.
Right.
And I can draw a pretty good beat on a kid just watching him on
I just
TV.
saw him in the national championship game, Skip, and he was spectacular. He had a bunch of yards passing. He had a bunch of yards rushing. I misspoke, Skip. Washington has San Francisco's third-round pick for the Trent Williams. So they don't have an extra first-rounder. So basically, Skip, you're going to have to give up your first. Obviously, you're going to switch spots with someone this year.
Yeah.
You're going to have to give up next year's and the year after. One.
I agree.
At bare minimum, plus.
Because that's what the 49ers did to go to 3.
Right.
Right?
And they went from 12 to 3.
12 to 3.
Skip, you're going up.
19?
Yeah.
Unless you knew enough to know that Trey Lance was going to be the one quarterback who fell to, well, let's say to 10, to Dallas's pick.
Right.
You said, Jerry, we'll give you.
Jared's like, I ain't doing no business with y'all.
Well, he might.
But they had Jared.
Right
Actually, Jared and Dan Snyder are really good friends.
They are. They are.
So that. But I still couldn't help you, Skip. If you brought me a trade, if you in my division, I don't care.
Okay. All right. But somewhere up there, Denver at 9. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
We work with you. We work with you.
You're a we on Denver.
Yeah. We work with you.
Okay. So what's your gut feeling on Trey Lance? Is it possible we're all overlooking the fact he's the best quarterback in this draft? Will he turn out to be the guy? He might.
He might. But the question is, Skip, like you said, how high? I believe that what highest you can go is 4 Atlanta. Obviously, you can't go any higher than that. Nobody else is going to trade with you.
They're not going to do it.
Right.
No.
So everybody else is there. The Jets have moved on from Sam Darnold. Urban Meyer's made it abundantly clear. They're taking Trevor Lawrence. Jets have moved on, so they're taking a quarterback. The 49ers are taking a quarterback. So nobody's trading with you. So you got to start with Atlanta at 4 or Cincinnati at 5. But I believe your best case scenario would be Atlanta at 4.
I ask you again, if you're the decision maker for the Atlanta Falcons right now, are you willing to risk that you give up Trey Lance and go back to 19 plus you get first rounders in the future?
Yes.
Are you willing to risk that he becomes Cam Newton, like he becomes an MVP candidate?
Right.
Are you willing to let that go when you have an aging Matt Ryan who might have a year left of high-level quarterback? Man,
that's tough.
Boy, it is.
That's why the decision maker. That's why they make that money, Skip. Because you got Julio, you got Calvin Ridley, you got some weapons outside. Can we build the defense, Skip, up? Can we keep Matt Ryan for this year, maybe next year, and then hopefully the next year there's a quarterback that's going to be available?
Maybe. Just for the record, my guy Spencer Rattler at the University of Oklahoma, I'll bet he'll be the highest picked quarterback a year from now. He'll be the guy. And he is growing on me. He got off to a little bit of a rocky start, but he can also use his legs to hurt you. And he's got a whip of an arm. So he'll be next year's it kid coming into the draft.
I ain't really been too sold on those Oklahoma quarterbacks.
All right. Well, there's this kid named Kyler. Do you remember him? You were down on him, and you're starting to jump on that bandwagon with one foot. Anyway.
Hold on. Weren't y'all 6-2 at some point last year? Y'all were 6-2 and winning the division. Then what happened?
Who are you talking about?
The Cardinals.
Oh, the Cardinals.
Yes.
I know who the y'all is.
You with the Cardinals. No. You with anybody? I'm starting to see you. I mean,
he got banged up.
I told you that would happen.
Got his shoulder banged up.
I told you that would happen.
He's a smaller man, but he's stout.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So what you gonna do?
Next year they are a playoff team.
Who?
The Cardinals. Oh, absolutely.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.